How are you? Good. We are going to be reading and talking about Feeling Angry by Joy Berry. Before we start reading the book, I wanted to talk about feeling angry for just a few minutes. So, first of all, a lot of people don't like to talk about being angry. Do you know why that is? Totally. It doesn't always feel good to talk about being angry. It definitely doesn't feel good to be angry, right? Would you rather be happy or angry? Because happy just feels so different. And anger can feel like there's this fire inside. And you can't even really think of anything except for why you're angry or what it is that you wanted and you didn't get it. So let's do two more emotions. Would you rather be sad or would you rather feel excited? Excited. Yeah, same thing. It can make us feel really uncomfortable to have different feelings. But it's so important to know how we're feeling, to practice it from the time we're very young. So if you start practicing working on feelings now, by the time you're a grown-up, you're going to have it so down and it will affect your life in a way that will just make it better. But it's practice. This is practice just like writing our names and using our cutting muscles. So I want to talk about feeling angry for just a moment, but I wanted to ask you first, what are some things that cause you to feel angry? I completely understand that. And I don't want you ever to feel ashamed to have feelings. Think about us. Let's think about us and feelings like an elephant with a trunk. So the elephant has to have its trunk. It's attached to its body. It's how it eats. It's how it washes itself. It's how it drinks water. So an elephant has to have a trunk. That's just like for people, you have to have feelings because we're all born with them. And every single person you will ever see has had all of the feelings. We all at times feel happy, sad, excited, scared, angry. Every single one of us. So if we stop feeling bad that we're having feelings, that would be like an elephant feeling bad about having a trunk. If we can say, this is a part of me and I want to learn how to use it. I want to learn how to use it in a way that's good for me and it's good for other people. And so if you were an elephant and you wanted to learn how to use your trunk, everything would be easier. You like, oh, I know how to drink water with my trunk. I know how to eat food. I know how to suck up the water in my trunk and wash myself with it. So since it's a part of us, it's a really important thing to practice and learn. So before we start the book, I just want to teach you guys about two words. Okay? So the first one is shame. Can you say it? Shame is when we have a feeling and then someone reacts in a way that can cause us to feel like we're bad. That's called shame. Have you ever had that feeling before? Yeah. They might even tell you you're bad. The other word I want to teach you is guilt. Can you say guilt? Mm-hmm. Guilt is, I'm going to give you an example. You want the toy that your little brother has so bad, you cannot think of anything else except for you want it right now. Because that's how our mind works when we're young children. Because our minds are growing and developing just like every other part of our body. So when we want something when we're young, like preschool age, 2, 3, 4, 5, starts to shift after about 5. All we can think about is getting what it is that we want. But if we go over, like, I have to have that toy right now from my brother, and we're not thinking about your brother, maybe you're not thinking about, well, if I go up and take it from him and whack him, how's that going to make him feel? It's hard to think about other people's feelings, especially when you're young, but it is a practice. Just like everything else, we just practice, practice, practice. We're not going to do perfect all the time, but it's just really important that we keep practicing. So you go over, you take the toy, you whack your brother, and he starts crying. And he's really sad and upset. But you got what you wanted. Well, at that point, you start caring more about the way that he feels than you do about how happy it is you are that you got what you wanted. So you're like, oh yeah, I just got this super cool toy, but I hurt my brother's feelings, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt people in any way, physically, emotionally, meaning you hurt their feelings, and I don't want people to hurt mine. So then instead of feeling like a bad person, it might feel like that for a second, because these two words they're related, but they're very different. And they're practice words, meaning you're either going to practice one way of processing and coping with anger, or you're going to choose another. So you want to make sure you make the choice that's healthier for you and is healthier for your loved ones and everyone around you. So with guilt, brother's crying, he's so upset, and you're like, I feel bad. It's different than saying I feel like a bad person. Do you hear? It's different. But I feel bad. I see that he's upset, and I don't care as much about the toy right now. You put the toy down, you walk over to your brother, and you look at his face, and you see that he's hurting, even if it's feelings, or you whacked him and it hurt. They're two different kinds of pain. They're both very, very real. So then you say to your brother, I am so, what do you say? Sorry. I am so sorry. I made a mistake. I really wanted that toy right now, and I wasn't thinking about the way it would make you feel if I took it and whacked you. And I realized that that wasn't the right choice, right? So that's guilt. Guilt is constructive, meaning that it's going to help you grow. When you recognize when you've done something that you feel like isn't right, and it was a bad choice, but then you think about it, you think really hard about the other person's feelings, and then you can even say it. Like I say it all the time. I messed that up, whatever it was. I'm still a grown up, and I still mess things up. It's just life, especially when you're learning. You say, I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel that way. Maybe you give them a hug or whatever it is that you do when you start to understand how that other person is feeling. That's feeling guilt and then doing something good with it. Because you learned something. Anytime we learn anything, whether it's the first time we write our name, or the first time that we cut something without having to take a break a million times because it hurts so bad. When we really learn something new, it feels amazing. And we always have the opportunity to make a different choice, right? So if that happened, do you think that he would choose to do the same thing to his brother the next time? Because he would remember. I remember that. I remember the way his face looked. I remember that I could see him being sad. And I don't want to do that because I love him. With shame, if you feel like, oh, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. Even though at the beginning, guilt does feel a little bit like that. But with shame, you're going in a different direction. You're being mean to yourself because you had a feeling and did something that you didn't like. You didn't like it. It made you feel something that you didn't like. And then instead of really looking how the other person feels, you ignore it. And you say something like, well, that's what you get for playing with my toy that you didn't even know that I wanted to play with. That's shame. And shame is damaging. It's damaging to kids and it's damaging to grown-ups. So if we can learn how to be healthy, accept ourselves for having feelings, because there's no real way that we can't have feelings. They're with us our whole lives. But the more practice we do on ourselves, the better it's going to be for you, for everyone in your house, for every friend you ever meet, and for the world around us. Okay. So I'm ready to read the book. You guys ready? Okay. That was a lot of talking, I know. Let's see. Let's talk about feeling angry. And the other thing I wanted to say, it's really good to talk about feeling angry. Even though it feels, it's good to talk about it. Mom says, how was your day today? It was good, except, ooh, this happened and I got so angry. Even talking about it later is going to help us manage our anger. It's going to teach us about our anger, because every feeling we have can teach us something. The only time our feeling doesn't teach us something is if we get mad and are mean to ourselves for having that feeling. That would be just like an elephant saying, my trunk didn't do the right thing, it didn't get water the way that it should, and now I don't even want to have anything to do with it. But it's going to have a trunk its whole life, right? So you could see how that would be a harder way to get by in your day. Okay. Hello, my name is Max. I live with Maria. Ooh, it looks like the narrator of the book is her dog. I love it. What if our dogs could talk? Do you ever think that? Or any animal that we have. I know, that'd be so funny. Sometimes things don't happen the way Maria wants them to happen. Maria feels angry. Because that's exactly, most of the time, why we get angry. Sometimes we get angry because someone's actually trying to hurt us. But most of the time, I would go as far as to say all of the time, when it has to do with kids, with young children, people your age, typically most of the people are not trying to hurt you. Most of them just really want something, and all they're thinking about is what it is they want, and they're not thinking about anything else. And like we said, when you're young and your brain is still growing, that's something that comes on its own with age. You start to think, okay, I really want this thing, but I already know how it's going to go down and I don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm going to figure out another way to do it. But it's really important why. I mean, it's such a big thing to practice when you're your age. It's not fair that you get to choose the TV show. You chose the last one. So what does Maria want? Yeah, she wants to choose the TV show, and she's feeling angry that she didn't get to do that. Sometimes people do things that hurt Maria. Maria feels angry. Does it make you feel angry if someone hurts you? And it should. It's not something you should be ashamed of. If somebody hurts you and you get angry, you should never feel ashamed for being angry, but especially when somebody hurts you. Most of the time, like I said, with kiddos your age, they're not doing it purposely, but it still causes us to feel angry. He says, "You dummy," and he pulls her hair and she says, "Ow!" Would that make you feel angry? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes people use Maria's things without asking. Maria feels angry. "That's mine. I didn't say you could use it." Ooh, this happens in my house sometimes. So her brother took her charger or whatever it is, his tape cassette, which was a way to listen to music way back in the day. And he didn't ask her, and she didn't say it was okay. Yeah, that pretty much makes us all feel angry, right? We want people to at least ask us, not to just take it like it's theirs. Sometimes people lose or break Maria's things. Maria feels angry. She said, "You broke my recorder." So this was hers, and she used to listen to music back in the day, before technology, before smartphones. She would listen to music on this. So he took it, he didn't ask her, and then he broke it. How would that make you feel? Yeah. And do you think her brother's bad? Is he a bad person? No, he's not. But all he was thinking about in the moment was what he wanted. He wasn't thinking about how it was going to make his sister feel, because our minds, they do this when we're young. We just think about what we want. And to do anything different than that is just a matter of practice. You guys are so capable. When you feel angry, you feel bad-tempered. So bad-tempered is just another way to say, you don't feel good. I don't like feeling this way. So at this point, Maria has two choices. She can either say to herself, "I'm angry and I need to get this anger out, and I need to think about something different to do." Maybe what she should do is take a minute to calm down, take some deep breaths, go punch her pillow if she needs to, and then talk to her brother and say, "You broke my tape recorder and I feel angry about it." Yeah. Or the second thing Maria could do, she could feel angry and then she could think, "Why am I feeling angry? Maybe I'm not a good person." That's shame. And when you feel that way, you don't get past the anger. You just feel bad about it, and it doesn't help you learn about what your feelings are trying to teach you. When you think about feelings, you want to think about them like they're your friends, kind of like on the movie that Disney made with Joy. Remember all the little characters? And each one of them was a different feeling. And in that movie, each feeling taught the main character, the girl in the story, something else about her. but we have to listen to them, do our best. We have to practice to be able to know what it feels like and to be able to say it so that we can understand ourselves. When you feel angry, you might want to do things you shouldn't do. I feel like clobbering him. So clobbering is another word for hitting. And is it bad when you're angry to have the thought in your mind, I want to hit someone? No, it's not bad to have the thought. It's not. It's not bad at all. Even if you do, we all make mistakes. So if you do feel that way and you do go up and you hit someone, you're still a good person. But what we want to try to do is to think, I'm feeling angry and I really want to hit that person right now, but I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to hurt their body. So I'm going to do something different. And we'll talk about a little list of things that we can do. I know we already talked about punching a pillow or getting out of the room, just getting it into a new space, crying, yelling. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Try to avoid breaking things when you are angry. And the reason why we want to try to avoid breaking things is 2 reasons. We want to stay safe, right? Be safe, be kind. You could live by those rules your whole life. But also when we feel angry, sometimes we might break something even though we love that toy. Or if it's somebody else's toy and you're like, well, I'm angry because I didn't get to watch TV. I'm going to go break his thing. It's going to hurt. It's either going to hurt you if you mess up your own toy and can't play with it anymore, or it's going to hurt the person that you love. Did I show you this already? I'm not sure what she's breaking. Can you see? Looks like just a little fishy toy. Try to avoid doing things that could hurt you when you're angry. That's what we were talking about. So remember, 2 rules: be kind, be safe. Be kind to you. Be safe with yourself. And be safe and kind with other people. And remember, no feeling is bad. You do not need to feel ashamed from having a feeling. It will teach us something, but we have to practice. We have to practice over and over and over again. And we make mistakes when we're learning something new, right? Because you can't learn something new without making some mistakes. And that's okay. Because the more you practice it, the more you can choose it because you're learning how to do it. Well, I'm not going to go break my brother's toy. I'm going to go into my room. I'm going to yell into my pillow. I might punch my bed. And then when I am feeling like the anger has left a bit, I'm going to go talk to my brother about how I feel. Totally different, right? I know. Oh, look. I'm so glad she said this. So she's angry. She kicked a box. She didn't know what was inside the box. And she hurt her foot. So it's the biggest thing. Just make sure that you are safe. You might even have a pillow that's just for angry yelling or hitting or throwing. Make sure if you're throwing, it's not going to hurt anything in the room. You don't want to throw a pillow if you have a fish tank open, right? Knock it down. No. The most important is to have a safe space to let your anger out. Because once it starts to come out, then we can practice making different choices that don't hurt us and don't hurt the ones we love. When you are angry, there are things you can do to make yourself feel better. So she says, try to calm down before doing anything. Yes. Yes, it's okay for you to be angry. Wait till you start and you feel it. Like it feels like heat is just coming through you. When you start to feel that, like, oh, that it doesn't feel as much anymore. It feels less. That's when you want to start taking care of yourself. Slowly counting to 10 will give you time to calm down. I would add to that, when you're counting to 10, to take deep breaths. Can you show me? Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Okay, 2. Try to get the air all the way down to your belly. How do you feel now? Even if you're not angry, even if you were happy, do you feel a little bit more calm? I'm telling you, it is a magical power. Taking deep breaths when you are having feelings that you might feel frustrated about or upset about, and you're trying to calm down, taking deep breaths is huge. Also, for those of you that have been in my classroom before, I don't know if you'll recognize this. So I use essential oils and I put water in it. And then I spray. I will ask each student, would you like a spray? Would you like some calm spray? And if they say yes, I say, okay, go ahead and close your eyes. And then I spray and tell them to take a deep breath. So imagine that smelling like the best thing you've ever smelled. Maybe you imagine chocolate chip cookies. Maybe you imagine the rain. But try and think about something that you love the smell of. And then you take a deep breath, right? Because you want to take even more deep breaths if you love the way it smells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's such a good practice. Will help to calm you down too. Talk to the person you are angry with. Tell the person why you feel the way you do. Ask them to listen to you. If they're doing something that's hurting you, you can say, I feel angry. This is what happened, and now I feel angry about it. You may not hit me. It's not okay. You can say that. If it's something like your brother gets to watch whatever he wants to, and you didn't get to choose, and you're frustrated because you want to turn, then you can either go to your brother or a grown-up in your house, or both, and say, I have not had a turn watching my show, and I'm feeling angry. Most likely, especially when you tell a grown-up and you're calm and you're past the stage that you feel like you need to yell or punch something soft or cry, you can absolutely cry. Helps the anger come out too. But when they see you talk like that, they'll compromise with you, meaning they'll work with you. So I'm a mom, and when I've had that happen in my house when my kids were little, if one of my kids came to me and said, I didn't get to pick my show and they picked it and it's not fair and I'm angry, then I say, as soon as they are done watching their show, you can choose. Do you see how that would help you feel less like, oh, okay, I told them how I felt. I was calm. I used my words instead of my hands. And now I'm going to get exactly what I want. I might not be getting it right this second. But if I have a little bit of patience, if I practice a little bit of patience, I'm going to get what I want. I get angry when you use my things without asking. Please don't do it again. That was a perfect way that she communicated with her brother. Now, when you get angry, do you tell someone, you make me angry? Or do you say, this happened, you chose the show, I'm feeling angry, or whatever it is. In this case, he took her music listener and he broke it. I'm feeling angry when you took my music listener. Please do not do that again. That is mine. If you want to borrow it, you can ask me. So then no one gets hurt. Her little brother knows exactly. Little brothers and sisters, they may not understand, so you're going to need a grown-up's help. But when you're older, they'll understand, oh yeah, next time he wants to listen to music right now, and he's like, I have to get my sister's music. I have to get it. I want to listen to it. He's going to remember, oh, remember how she felt when I did that, and then I accidentally broke it and I felt even worse, right? And he's going to make a different choice. It's all about choices, my friends, all about practicing and all about choices. Sometimes the person who you're angry with won't listen to you. Talk to a grown-up you know and trust. Tell that person how you feel. Ask him or her for help to decide what you should do with your anger. So what I was saying earlier, if you feel mad and you go to someone and you say, you make me mad, how do you think the other person's going to feel? They're going to feel like you are shaming them. They're going to feel like they're bad. And when they feel like that, they're not going to make the right decisions with their anger. They're not going to learn from it. They're automatically, if you imagine putting up like Tilly's wall in the book, Tilly and a Wall, when someone does this to you, you make me feel mad. This invisible wall goes right up, and it happens to all of us. And then whatever words they're saying actually bounce off the wall. So if you don't hear what they're saying, you're not going to make a different choice. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know. It's very complicated. The world of feelings is a big and beautiful one. So she says to her mom, Carlos always uses my things without asking. So she goes and she finds a grown-up that she trusts, which was her mom in this story. And she said, okay, I will talk to him about leaving your things alone. Don't be worried about needing a help from a grown-up when it comes to anger. The grown-ups in your life that you trust, that's one of the reasons we're there for you. It's one of the ways that we can guide you as you grow. Sometimes you might need to do something with your energy when you are angry. It is okay for you to cry or yell, jump up and down, or hit something that can't hurt you and you can't hurt it, like a pillow, a punching bag, or your bed. Remember, that's knowing, oh my gosh, I'm feeling angry right now. And then doing something. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna jump up and down, or I'm gonna run around, or I'm gonna have karate chops through the air. Whatever that you need to do that is safe, you should do it to let that anger come out. Oh, look, she's laying on her bed. See what she's doing? She's punching and kicking at the same time, and she's probably screaming into her pillow, which makes the sound quieter. Because sometimes when we cry, it hurts our own ears. When you get angry, you might need to go outside. You might need to have some time on your own. So some people like to be on their own. They might want to go to their room and close their door. Not because they're bad, but because they need their own space. They want to feel like they can just be angry and know it's not going to hurt anyone. And that's absolutely okay if you need time. Oh, perfect. It's like I'm reading this book's mind. I feel like screaming, I better go outside. So see, she's not screaming at anyone, which could scare someone, or it could make them feel hurt, right? She wants to just get it out outside. Just imagine you're screaming outside and it's just, the anger is coming out of you and it's going up to the sky and it's going up all the way to the clouds and it's just moving through you, and then you don't feel like that. Remember, everyone gets angry. Feeling angry is okay. The most important thing is to learn about our anger in a way that we can be constructive, which is a big word for not hurting us and not hurting anyone else. Okay? And why do you think it's bad to hurt someone? Why is it bad to, say you say something to someone and they start crying because it was, you said something like, your hair looks ugly today or whatever. Why is it not okay to do that? Yeah. We treat people the way we want to be treated. We don't want people talking to us like that. It hurts. So what we can do is we can treat people with kindness, compassion. We can care about their feelings. And we can make sure that regardless any feelings we're having are not going to cause harm. All right. The end. That was a very long story time, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.